Last time we met, I think we were talking about, as he pointed out, what is our relationship to what is happening in the world. Right, sir? You know what's happening in the world? Terrorism, and those who are terrorized. The purpose of terrorism is to terrorize. Right? And they're hijacking, killing people, innocent people, or any type of, it doesn't matter. And there's a war going on in Beirut. Sorry. And there is Bangladesh, you know all about it. And you know what's happened in South America? Falkland War. And then people celebrating Falkland War here and mourning in Argentina. Right? And also there is this Star Wars. You heard about it? Tremendous. So that I won't go into the details of it. So that the atom bomb and the neutron bomb will be obsolete. Right? Seeing all this, not only intellectually, but actually, as a fact, what's your relationship to all that? To national divisions, to economic, to racial, to all that has happened in Brussels, and so on. What's your attitude towards all this? How do you react to all this?
So when one reads about all this in the newspapers, or hears about it, or sees it, one seems to get stuck with the question of how does one respond?
I'm asking you, how do you respond to it? What's your reaction? What's your feeling? What's your instinctive or immediate response to it?
I think my response at least sometimes is thinking I want to keep out of it as much as I can. You know, try to to keep out of it.
If you try to keep out of it, can you?
I don't know.
Do you mean not contribute to the mess?
Well, I mean, I try to make no difference between people, whether they come from Britain or...
That's fairly simple.
But I mean, and I, yeah, it's, yeah.
That's
but from
fairly,
there, I don't know what else to do.
That's fairly, it's recognized,
Yes.
and it's fairly easy to do that. But a deeper level, if there is such a deeper level, what do you feel about all this? The wars, the antagonisms, the economic divisions, superpowers, and the terrible things that are happening, hijacking. Right? People have nothing to do with anything, being bombed, killed. In Israel, the bombs are thrown on buses, children, women. How do you?
I often think, what is it that makes man do all that?
No, but you're the man.
Yes,
You're the
it's part of me too.
What's your relationship to it? You're not answering my question.
Well, sir, there's, I get the sense of that there's something not quite right about it. And, you know, I ask myself...
You're not quite right about it.
So I mean not right, that it's not this killing, this bombing, the war going on.
Yes, proceed, tell me.
I don't feel it is right, and yet I'm not sure, there's something I can do about it, because nobody seems to be able to stop it.
Do you want to stop it? Do you want to indulge in violence?
No, sir.
Right? Then you are not a violent human being. Or you limit violence, terrorism, killing, limit it there, limit it so that it's something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But violence is much deeper than merely, not that it's right to kill another human being, but do you feel violent?
So
If you are really honest.
So this is where I see a contradiction, because at one level,
Contradiction between what?
at one level, I do not want this violence to continue, but in my own life, I or any individual seems to continue with this.
Do you take the responsibility, you as a human being living on this earth, do you take the responsibility, say, I won't be violent? Or do you indulge sometimes with violence, sometimes not? You follow what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Which is it?
It seems to be the only thing we can do for one person.
Will you do it?
Not.
Not it seems the only thing you can do. But will you do it? Will you say, I won't be violent?
But Krishna,
And go into the question of what is violence, how to be free of it, and so on. Will you undertake that journey? Or just say, well, I don't want a part of all this. I want to keep out. But how can you keep out? When you go back to Argentina, you're going to take an airplane. Right? And you're going to pay so much. And that goes part of it to armaments, part of it to all the rest of it. You can't keep out.
But then I get stuck with the question of how do I not keep out? I get stuck with
First,
it.
I tell you, I'm asking not how to keep up. That's a wrong question. You can't keep up.
But I'm saying that's the immediate reaction that one has. How do I not do this?
Yeah. No,
well, you can't not do it.
I'm asking you, will you take the responsibility seriously, passionately, and say, let's go into the question of violence, and I will see I will not be violent. And therefore you will not elect a violent leader. Right? A politician, that's what's happened the world over. Therefore I'm asking you, as human beings, will you stop your own violence? And what is violence? You come with me to begin to discuss. What do you consider violence?
When you hurt another person?
Begin at the lowest level or the highest level. Begin somewhere. You hit me. You rob me. You murder me. You do all kinds of things to me. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's only a part of violence, isn't it? Now, go into it. Go on. Explore together. Don't keep silent.
When I feel angry with you.
That's right. When you feel angry. Go on.
When I feel hurt.
Yes.
And also,
No, not only when you want to be hurt, but also when you want to hurt others.
Yes.
Don't say,
Yes, that's included.
so go on.
When you want to protect yourself,
Partly.
if there's a country in war or something.
and
Jealousness seems to be violence.
And competition?
You
Yes,
go on
competition,
Tell
yes.
me what you, don't say ask me. What do you think is violence? And will you undertake the responsibility to see that you, as a human being on this earth, will not be violent? What does it mean? And also, what does it mean to be non-violent? Right? You understand? That's what they're talking about. Also in Gandhi and India has been preaching non-violence.
But that seems to be non-violence in one particular sphere.
No. Go into, don't let seeds. Now go find out if you are violent. And then inquire what is violence. You said anger, so you will not be angry.
Krishna,
listen.
can you say that? Can you, I mean, it seems even a violent statement because you are
Find
angry,
out how to,
and then you're trying to contradict something that is there, you know.
I understand that, old boy, but I'm asking you, will you undertake not to be violent? Therefore, inquire what is violent. What is violence?
So I find myself reluctant to say that I will not be violent.
That's not the point. You
No.
just now said, careful, you just now said that you, living on this earth as a human being, see all this terrible violence since human beings lived on this earth, and it's getting worse and worse and worse, more dangerous, right? I asked you, what's your reaction? What's your responsibility to that? He said, I would withdraw. She can't withdraw. Right? When you take an airplane or buy a stamp or anything, food, you are helping the whole system of violence to continue. Right? Clear? If that's clear, then what is your part in this? Then you must ask, what is violence? Right? Before you say, I can, I cannot. Right? Now, what do you consider violence?
Often we are violent when we have a quick reaction that we don't control. We react immediately and we don't see it.
No, begin simple. Begin with the physical level. It is reaction is also part physical, right? Begin.
Like you said, so when I
There's
hit
physical
someone,
violence, isn't there?
Yeah.
Huh? Hitting somebody, throwing a bomb at somebody, throwing another under the tray, or throwing a bomb at 40,000 feet over a town, right? Those are all physical actions, right? Do you want to contribute that, or you say, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to kill another human being, for whatever reason. At present, I don't want to kill. I've thought a great deal about it, and I've gone into it. Physically, I won't kill. I don't know what I will do later, next year, but so far I'm very clear. Would you say that?
I think we can say that,
No,
sir.
not can. Will you do it?
Yes, sir. But when it comes to, something about anger, it seems it's quite a different matter.
Face a different matter. It's no good talking about not being violent, right? Talking about theorizing, discussing, like they're doing now. Will you, as a human being, physically not hurt another.
Are you saying that each moment we should watch and...
No, I'm asking you this. Don't translate into something else.
I don't know, I'm trying to understand.
Yes, sir. I can say that for now.
You will not hurt another. Right? Physically.
Even if you're attacked.
Wait. That's a supposition.
Yes, I know. Yes. Okay.
Well, if I have been all my life non-violent, I may be non-violent. I don't know what I will do.
Yes.
If I am
Yes.
attacked, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yes.
But my brain has been thinking about this, living it, and perhaps it will act that way, or it may not. Right? So they leave the future alone.
Yes.
That's a trick to escape from this fact. Right? Isn't it? Yeah? So, physical violence, that move, or you psychologically violent.
When I compete with 50 other students in an examination,
Don't begin carefully. Step
That is-
by, no, lady, step by, don't jump to.
I'm not jumping, sir. I'm saying when I took an examination in Rishi Valley, I was competing with thousands of other students.
So, do you say psychological competition is part of violence?
Yes.
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 Huh?
Yes.
Yes.
She's uncertain.
Yes, I think.
Right? Competition, not examination, but any form of competition. So will you not compete? I am better than him.
Does that mean not taking exam? For the example of an exam?
Justin will first get the principle of it, the feeling of it, not to compete. Right? Because that's part of violence. Right? Would you agree? You've said. So, will you eliminate or look at it and see the nature of competition? The nature, the wholeness of, the entirety of competition.
All right, so let's begin.
Let's look at it now.
Begin, that's what I mean. Go on. Competition. From childhood, your mother says you're better than your brother, more beautiful. You've got much better outlook, and so on. So, will you stop comparing? Well, comparing is a form of competition.
Yes.
Not between two materials, between this cloth and that cloth, between this woolen trouser and your corduroy trouser. Stop, will you? And so on, deeply. It's much more a deeper problem. Can you live your life without any comparison? Except you compare with two cars, etc. Right?
But then what does it mean to live without comparison?
Find out. Don't ask me.
No, I'm just throwing the question in the air.
Let's begin with.
But it seems that that's where I get stuck. I
Don't
keep
get stuck.
thinking.
Move.
I keep thinking, what if I gave up comparison? What if I stopped competing? What if all that?
Then that means if I do this, I will get that.
I just got stuck with the question before of how do I get rid of competition? How do I not compare?
Careful. Now, moment you say, if I do this, will I get that? Then
That's what
you're
happens.
Functioning between reward and punishment.
That's the way we functioned
Yes,
for
sir.
many years.
Pursue it further. Therefore, would you say, understand the depth of comparison, the full movement of comparison? She said, I understand, therefore I won't do it. Right?
Well, I don't seem
very
to
well
understand
followed
it.
words. Therefore you won't touch fire.
But we don't see it in the same
That's
light.
the whole point.
Yes, I don't understand it. I don't understand the whole problem of the
So
mind.
look at it carefully. Don't come to any conclusion. Go on. You've never thought about it. That's it. Or looked at it. Right, let's begin. We agreed, all of you, I think, that comparison is a form of violence. But you have to compare, right? Between two pieces of cloth, between two poems, between two carpets, right? And so on. Better washing machine than the old one. You have to compare. But psychologically, will you go on?
What does it mean to psychologically compare?
It means I'm better than you.
When I make a judgment about somebody,
No,
is
I'm
that
speaking-
comparing?
No, I'm not talking about judgment. You see how you function?
No, I'm asking,
I
sir.
know. I'm asking you a question and you counter that by another question.
No, I'm not asking you to answer this question.
I don't ask that question before you answer my question. Right? I'm not being rude. So will you inquire, look into the whole nature of comparison by beginning psychologically? Why do you compare? Why do you compare yourself with God, or with him, or with your whole school, or with your brother? What?
We have been told to compare. Because
So, you are being educated to compare.
yes,
So your reactions, go on, further it,
well,
is mechanical,
yes,
right? Like a computer that has been programmed, right? You know,
well,
for a little,
yes,
like me. You repeat.
well, the comparison comes just by itself.
Of course.
Yes,
You
yes,
repeat. Right? Do you see how your brain becomes mechanical? Has become mechanical.
Repeating patterns.
I'm taking one, you see. Stick to one thing at a time. You told me that, you told Kay, that comparison is a form of violence. You all agree. Don't go back on it.
No.
And I said, it is necessary to compare between that lamp and that lamp, right? That camera, another cheaper camera.
Yes, it is.
That's necessary. But psychologically, inwardly, why do you compare? And he says, and she said, oh, it's a reaction, natural reaction. He
yes.
said. I said, is it natural or is it cultivated? natural being. As a baby, I grow up.
No, we have.
That's natural.
But that's with more something we have been taught to do,
Which
which is comparison.
between baby and you?
No.
You're
We
not
have
different.
learned to compare. We have been taught at school and everything.
Yes, you are educated to compare.
Yes.
We said
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Yes.
Which means your brain has been conditioned, educated, trained to compare.
Yeah.
Right? From that we said a computer which is programmed will repeat. It may invent its own repetition, you go further, but it's repetition. Now you are also trained to compare. I'm better than you, I'm taller than you, I'm more clever, I'll get a better job, right? And so on. So psychology, and much more subtle than that. We are trained, educated, programmed to repeat. Now will you stop that?
Well, we have to be aware
Stop.
of it.
I mean, will you see the reality of it? That is how your brain has become mechanical, routine, it's repeating, saying the same thing over and over again. I can't do it. I mustn't do it. It's too difficult for me. I don't understand. Tell me all about it.
But
Then
that's
maybe-
all what my brain
Yes,
seems
I
to
know.
do, Krishna.
Explain to me, then I'll.
But that's exactly what's happening, sir.
I know that's why I'm repeating it. I'm telling you.
But can we,
Later, look at your brain. See how your brain is working.
yes sir, can I say something?
No, you can say anything.
Well, we say that we're educated to compare. We agree that we are educated to compare.
Condition.
Yes, but can we educate ourselves not to
Wait,
compare?
Find out. Don't ask me.
Well, you seem to know, sir.
I may know, I may not know. But find out, question, doubt, ask yourself. Now, I have been brought up to compare. Suppose I'm being brought up, I haven't been, but I suppose I have been. Compare myself with somebody else much nobler, much known, and follow all that nonsense. Now why do I compare? Why? You say that's progress, right? That's evolution.
Also, Krishna, that doesn't, you're asking why, that doesn't seem to be a reason, it's just there. It's being done constantly. You do
Yes,
it.
I said that.
For example,
I have been told from childhood, from babyhood, I'm a Catholic. Baptized and all the rest of it. I'm a Catholic.
Yes.
My parents are, why? I'm also. Go
Yeah,
on.
that's all what my brain knows.
Of course,
And-
of course. I said, of course it works that way. So I said, you are mechanically functioning,
Yes.
right? So go on.
So I think I also want to compare, because when I think I'm nicer than somebody else, I get a certain pleasure out of it.
That's it. So you want a reward from it, which is pleasure, right? See, because that is, if I don't get it, I get punished, I feel hurt, I feel angry, I feel, I get depressed, right? I feel, oh gosh, I'm so small, you know, all the depression, all the anger, jealousy, right? All that goes on. All my life, right? Do you want to live that way? I'm just asking for you to find out. Not say I don't want to live that way. Right? So, you have said comparison is one of the factors of
Violence.
Violence.
Violence. Right? Will you go into yourself and say it's my responsibility not to compare? Or see the whole movement of comparison. Therefore, end it. Not end it, it'll end itself. Instantly, like water spouting of a pipe, when there is no volume of water behind it, it drops, stops. You say? Is it?
So,
Does that mean, sir, you don't compare?
Don't ask me what I do. That's not your point. I can tell you, yes, I never have compared myself with anybody. Not that I'm vain and feel very haughty. It doesn't occur to me. I mean, I don't accept it because I say it. I may be deceiving myself. I've gone into this very carefully. I say I've never done it. It doesn't, for others it doesn't mean a thing, right?
so
It doesn't make me into a hero.
So when I say that I see that comparison leads to violence, I doubt to what extent I see it.
That's right. Your part then find out what does it mean to see.
Yes.
I'm asking you.
Because there seems to be some kind of an intellectual seeing, and there's a bunch of words and we see it. But we get stuck in that, and it doesn't seem to carry on further beyond that.
Why not? Is it your brain refuses to look in that direction? Is it laziness? Is it a form of, well, it doesn't matter, everybody compares. I don't follow.
So I don't think I want to give up all that has happened in these past 18 years.
All right, keep it.
That's what's preventing me from
Then
looking
keep
at
it.
it.
And be violent. You want both.
That's the contradiction
I
that I was...
know. You want to have the cake and eat it.
Mhm.
Vous avez compris ça?
Yes.
Bien.
Well, can we find out what does it mean to see?
Go on. See. Observe. Right? What does it mean? I see actually what's going on in the world. Right? Actually see newspapers, television, magazines, books, right? Lectures, for and against. I see what KGB is doing. I see what the Palestinians are doing under different names, different guise, different motives. Shiites against somebody else, right? I see very clearly all that, don't you? Right? Why? Why do you say I see that very clearly?
I'm not sure that I see it very clearly.
What do you mean?
Oh, yes.
Hey,
No.
No. Well, it's outside of us, sir.
don't you know television?
I do.
Don't you, haven't you heard or seen or in the newspaper the latest hijacking, TWA, what they're doing?
Mhm.
It's not, you don't see that? See, in newspapers, they talk about it.
So he asked a question
Yeah.
earlier. No, I'd just like to go back to it. What does it mean to see?
I'm asking you.
But you were using the word all this time, and I was getting confused.
You mean so you don't see what is happening? You don't know what is happening?
I do.
Huh?
I do.
Therefore you understand you understand there's a tree there.
Yes.
There are these lamps here.
Mhm.
these lamps, those trees, the carpet, the chairs are as factual as what's the Tiramay hijacking. Right? You see that. You hear it. Right?
Yes.
That's one form of hearing, seeing. You can't doubt it.
No.
No.
You can't doubt she's sitting there.
No, not at all. No.
So you see it, you hear it, you know it as a fact. Right? As a fact. Right? Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Do you know as a fact that comparison is a factor of violence? As a fact, not as an idea. Vous avez compris ça? Bien?
So shall
As
we?
a fact, those lamps are there, these chairs are there, the carpet, the shape of the room. These are facts. You can't immediately change the roof. You may tomorrow. So do you see equally clearly, objectively, that
Comparison.
I know that,
Comparison is part of violence.
yes.
It's a fact.
Krishnaji, can I say how I see it? I see that
See,
comparison.
I tell you why you're asking me to repeat, I object to that. But my brain says, why haven't you moved? You understand? You ask the same question over and over again.
But that's because I'm getting stuck.
No,
Yes, sir.
why do you say you see the hear or observe or read that there's a hijacking going on?
Yes.
Starving people, the dirt, the squalor, the annoyance, the indignity of it. They may be killed, they may be, the airplane may be followed. That's very factual. Do you see it as a fact in yourself that comparison is part of violence? I'm not going to repeat it again. I hate it personally. I can't keep on repeating.
I can see that the comparison that other people do is violent, but it's very difficult to see that I am being violent also.
But if you compare yourself with someone, and you may think that he's better than you, and then feel angry or feel ready to do something to him so that he's not as well as you are, or something like that. And that's
What's your
becomes violent.
difficulty? We're asking a very, very simple question. What's your difficulty?
I think
Well,
my difficulty is that I can...
Stop. I'm not going to listen. Stop first. Listen to the question
Yeah.
and see what the question, the meaning of the question, and then find out. And then answer. But you jump to answer immediately.
So you asked, what is the difficulty?
Yes, what's the difficulty?
But-
You see the clock there very clearly. That's a fact. 13 minutes to 1. Right? Why don't you see as clearly, as definitely, as accurately that comparison is part of violence?
So my difficulty is that I tend to say, what if? I say, if I stop comparing, I should be non-violent. That's what's happening.
Why? Because you want to reward.
Yes.
So you're not observing the accuracy. I want it to be at 10 minutes past 1 so I can have my lunch, right? Then I'm not observing, I'm not listening.
That's why when I say I see, I doubt it.
How can you doubt?
No, not in terms of the clock.
Why do you differentiate between the two?
Well, Krishnamurti, you made a difference between the...
See, you don't even listen to take the trouble.
Yeah, I was going to say that you made a difference. You were saying that you can compare between a material and another material, but not psychologically.
I don't say anything. I didn't say don't compare.
No, but...
Don't put me in a position and then attack that position. I'm asking you, why don't you see as clearly as you see the clock, that comparison and so on? Why don't you see it? You're young, right? Your brain is somewhat young. You already come to the point, I don't know, I can't do it. You tell me. That's an old man's game. That people are all over the world saying they want to lead us, right? You also want that. And I said, please don't put
No, sir, I'm not asking you for an answer. But no.
You're stuck.
I'm stuck.
Oh, yeah, be stuck. I doubt if you're stuck.
You doubt it. Why do you doubt it?
Because you keep on repeating it.
That is being stuck.
And therefore I don't know. It may be mere gramophone recording.
But I think that's what she calls being stuck, you know. It's repeating it.
You're not stuck when you're hungry, do you? You rush there.
No.
Yeah. Oh, find out. Why? You see something very, very clearly. Moment you move or move away from that physical fact, you begin to feel, oh, I don't know, I'm stuck and I'm afraid. If only you play that game. So find out what you're doing, why you're doing.
So often, I don't know if I can trust what I'm
Doesn't
thinking.
matter. Don't trust. Why should you trust?
No, that's why there is this feeling of, I don't know, this uncertainty.
Because you are uncertain of yourself.
Yes.
Therefore, find out why you are uncertain. Yes, you agree, but you stop there.
Then why is it that we don't want to see these things?
Whom are you asking that question?
Well, myself and
and find out the answer. See what you have been doing for 18 or 20 years? Asking somebody to tell you what to do. Right?
Yes.
And the other extreme, I don't tell me, I'll do what I like. Right? Agree? The hippies began. I was going on in a different way. I will do what I want to do. Then who are you to tell me? The hierarchy I disapprove of. You follow me. So, I'm asking the same question. You haven't answered it.
So I don't know, I find it difficult to answer it.
No, you haven't even heard the question. That's what I'm noting. You see that clock now, 6 minutes to 1. I've repeated the same thing for 20 minutes, or less or more. So your praying is refusing to move from a position. It's all right. I'm going to find out why. I see that very clearly, and I can't see this fact. Fact that comparison is one of the factors of violence. It's a fact. Why don't you see it? Hear it, taste it, feel that. Why don't you? Oh, you say, I'm stuck. You don't say that with your examination, right? When you're being examined for an hour, you don't say, sorry, I'm stuck.
So I think one of the reasons is that we are frightened of what's going to happen when we move.
Find out if you're frightened. What might happen is not a fact. So you want a reward, you want to be told, you want to be patted on the back, encouraged to push. And I say, I'm sorry, I'm not pushing.
So when I don't see what I'm heading towards, then I feel frightened. That's why.
Sorry, I'm not listening to you. You repeated this 10 different ways, right?
And that's what I said too.
Reward, I'm frightened, I've been brought up that way, I know I'm being programmed. Yes, and you repeat that in different ways. So I say, please go on, I'm rather bored with this. I'm not. So you tell me why you see something physically very, very, very clearly, and psychologically you don't say, I don't know what you're talking about.
Something's blocking me from seeing it. Yes, sir.
It's when he's saying we know what the blocks are.
Wait, answer her.
Is it because you're expecting an answer? And then you can't go
We
much
said that
further?
in
She
10
said,
different
I'm
ways.
blocked.
Yes, there are excuses once, and once again we find
Who is
excuses.
blocking her?
Herself.
Myself.
Find out who is yourself. You see, you're stuck.
I don't know.
So don't say you don't know. You see,
But
so very lazy. If I want to see what is on the other side of that hill, I walk up there and look. But you sit comfortably and say, tell me all about it.
no, sir, I don't think I'm saying that.
Yes,
More or less you're saying that. I'm
More or
blocked
less.
from climbing the mountain. I'm blocked. I am sorry, I'm frightened to climb the mountain. Something is blocking me from...
But that's how it is.
Of course it is. And you say that's how it is.
No, I'm not saying that I should remain with that.
Therefore move.
But then I get stuck with the question, how do I move?
Get up off the chair, go with.
But I don't see it as simple as that.
It is as simple as that if you look at that clock and why you can't see it equally clearly. It's very simple, but you're refusing to see it. If you want me to go deeper into it, I will. But careful, I'm not programming you. Right? I'm not telling you what to do, what to think, how to get up from the chair and walk up the hill. Right? I won't enter into that game. Right? So, but if you want me to go into it, for you to observe your own brain, expand it, break it down, look, change, do something. Don't say, I don't know. Now, I'll tell you. Can you look at that tree without the world? Look at that tree and find out if you can look at it. Just observe it. Not say that, that's a tree and give it a name, etc., etc. Right? Can you do it?
No.
Why?
Because as soon as I look at that book, the word book
Back again.
Same pattern.
I am asking you something you're not even. Look at that tree. Look at that thing that's outside the window. And don't call it a tree, but look at it. Or look at that thing on the shelf, and don't call it a book, but just look. Do you find that terribly difficult? Huh? No, you don't. Right? But she does.
Yes, I do.
I know you do.
Well, Krishnaji, to tell us to look at it, you're naming it. You just know it is.
Naming, you have said something. Naming is not observing. Look, I already named her for a bothered look. She's my wife. Right? Oh, I've lived with her, have sex, have blah, and she's just my wife. But I've never looked at her as a human being. Right? Look at her. What she thinks, what she feels, if you look, just look. Right? But you don't. And don't say I'm stuck. It's a very simple thing to look at that tree without the word, find out why the word comes out so quickly. It's a tree. That's a tiger. A snake.
Because we have a general idea that applies to all of them.
No, don't answer it yet. Find out. Oh, girl, you have already answered it. Why do you name these things so quickly? Right? My father. My mother was like that. And already you've got images, right? That's all I'm preventing. Not preventing. That's what's happening. So you're not free, I'm not going to say, free of image making. That's a book. Right?
I want to identify things.
No. You see, you've already gone ahead. You don't begin simply this. I know your clever brain.
No, sir, that seems
No,
simple.
listen to me carefully. The Indians are pretty good at this kind of game.
Can we do Krishnaji going for a while?
You haven't even learned a very simple fact. Look at that thing without naming it. Don't even begin with that. You already become comfortable with it. You don't say, now let me look. Take time. Can you look at anything silently? Your father, your mother, your friend, your husband, anything. The terrorists look silently to fight, because that may, you understand? That may change the whole thing. But you are not even willing to do that. Then you will ask me, how am I to be silent? I'm blind. So, going into all this patience, not take years, I don't mean that. Because you are young, you have a long life ahead of you, right? If you don't begin to learn now, when you are young, you say, I'm stuck at the age of 50. Right? Or I can't solve this problem. And I go to a psychiatrist, or to the priest, or get depressed, or hit my husband, get annoyed with him. Right? This is going on. So begin from now, as you are young, to look at something without naming. Then you will begin to learn why you name. So it is very important to learn this simple fact. Right? Very simple fact. Look at your prime ministers, your politicians, and look at him. The rulers of the world, right? You will learn, you will feel, you will understand something so enormously important. Naming may be a factor of self-importance, a factor of security. You understand? Go into it all. Don't be lazy, that's all. Don't ever say I'm stuck. Because nobody is going to help you. I know you won't be helped, but nobody is going to do it. They will be fools. I mean, the Guru will say, come with me, sit with me, you'll be all right, and you feel happy with it. Don't enter into all that. And go, put your energy into it. I'm afraid this will be the last. You're going away or coming back?
Coming back.
You? Coming back. You?
Coming back.
You'll be next term here? You're sure?
Yes, sir.
Yes? I'm just asking.
Yes.
And you?
I'm coming back.
So, we may meet again. Right?
Good.
And don't begin to tell me you're stuck. You're 2.5 months or 3 months.